Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Align Your Energy with Joy and Abundance. Hi, I'm Ellie Young, intuitive healer, and today I want to tell you a story of comparison and fear. The tools that I'm using at the moment to navigate fear of persecution, fear of public shame, of losing respect and approval, fearing whether I will or won't be able to sustain what I'm creating, if I may lose it all. I'm talking fear, the really nitty gritty fear, the gut-wrenching fear, and what I'm doing to overcome it, to heal it, to accept it, to acknowledge it. So I want to tell you a story. So I have noticed that a lot of my content lately wasn't getting the reach that I'd quite hoped. I started getting down on myself and rather frustrated, thinking, this is great content, there's so much healing knowledge, I've got so much healing knowledge that I want to share with the world about how we can heal our own bodies and, mindset and helping anxiety. Just so much juice and so much good content, and I noticed it wasn't actually getting that much reach. And I've been wondering why, why are people not listening? Are people not really interested in healing? And my gardening posts are getting so much more traction and views and interaction. So I've been sitting here getting a bit down on myself and wondering why, because I love teaching gardening, but I also love doing the intuitive healing side of things and the natural healing and, moon cycles, and I feel so passionate and excited. Being a manifesting generator, I'm multi-passionate. I love doing a mix of genres, just a mix. One day I'll be all in the garden, one day I'll be doing all moon cycles, one day I'll be doing all intuitive healing. So I love my multi-passions. But yes, I've been getting really down on myself and thinking, why is it? What is blocking me? What is it? So I sat down in the depths of kind of my despair, so to speak, on this one day, and I sat down journaling and I talked to Dave, I was kind of like asking some questions and feeling all gloomy. Anyway, I came inside to make a coffee, and then when I went back out there, Dave had written his note, says that I think you are amazing, I love you. And that little note, I think you are amazing, when I'm here feeling down on myself, wondering why, certain elements weren't doing traction, I'm doing all the stuff and taking action. And it was just that those kind words were just enough to give me that little bit of, okay, let's just breathe and let's see. I asked the universe, I asked my guides, and I said, okay, universe, angels, ancestors, sacred ones and star beings, can you show me what is blocking me? Can you show me? And it showed up in a few ways. So as soon as you ask the universe for help, the universe, like in a form of a prayer or an intention or your energy, it will always help, it will always match, it will always answer. And it showed up in a few ways. One, I found a post came up on my feed on Instagram of a woman named Faith String, and her post was clear on actually asking. She kind of made like a bit of a joke about it. When you ask the universe what you want, it will deliver. And when you are asking the universe to show me, her post was, I asked the universe to show me my subconscious blocks, and it did. Or my subconscious fears, and it did. I was like, so I had asked the universe for help, and it brought me to this post. And so I asked clearer. I was like, okay, had asked it, to show me, show me where my blocks are, what's going on. Can you open my eyes and show me? Led me to that post. So after asking clearer, after seeing that post, for the universe to show me my subconscious fears, it did. It really did. So that night when I went to bed, a notification came up just before, and it was from Life by Lucy. And it says you are meant to see this message. So usually I already have my meditation set up, but because I was just going to bed and I saw it and I was like, okay, I'll click on it. It was enticing. You were meant to see this message. So I clicked on it. And this led to a video which was about reinventing your life. And the key question that she asked in that was, what's the story in the back of your head? What, the subconscious blocks. And then it all flooded to me. All of this information flooded to me. Absolutely flooded. So I apologize if that sound did come through then. Literally, as I'm talking about Life by Lucy, the notification came through. And so it came up, all of this information just started kind of downloading. It came up with all my thoughts were like, if I put myself out there and I share more of this content and things like that, I'll get persecuted. I'll be publicly shamed. I will lose respect and approval of friends and family or peers. I won't be able to sustain that, and I'll lose it. Or I'll be found out as a fraud. All of these fears, all of these thoughts came to the surface. I was like, whoa, okay. Universe, thank you. Thank you very much for, letting me know all of that. I had asked and it delivered. So I was like, whoa, okay. So that night after the realization, remember I am in bed and I'm about to do a meditation, and then I was curious where these fears kind of stemmed from. And a core wound meditation popped up. Actually, I think I put search box and I said something like persecution meditation or something. And it came up with this core wound meditation popped up, and it tried it. And I was like, okay, fantastic. Came up and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. I'll see if I can release this core wound, or I'll see if I can actually find out where, even if it's just one of these fears, but there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those fears. Let me see where one of these stems from. And when I did the meditation, it actually revealed a time in my life, well, actually 2 times, but one that led from another one. We had a massive change in our life where there was an instant where all of a sudden it was just, instead of mum, dad, and my sister and I, it was just mum, my sister and I. And without getting into too much of the nitty-gritty, everything changed. Absolutely everything changed. All of a sudden it was just mum and us girls. And I found like going into, for all of a sudden, I wasn't really welcome to friends' houses. I wasn't able to go in and visit them or stay there. And I kind of felt shut off and unwelcome. And I had all of this kind of shame around. And we ended up moving to a new city and kind of relocating. And this energy of what had kind of happened and had kind of tainted, and I felt it, all the shame and guilt kind of come through. And when we moved to this new town, I found it really tricky. We were quite poor to be able to fit in. And I was like severely bullied and teased. But in this meditation, it was so vivid, just this one moment when I'm standing in the office with my mum explaining to the principal what had happened. And it was just, I could feel all this shame and guilt. And, just friendships and relationships changed. And I never knew what was going on. And so in this meditation, and then when I looked through and how I was being teased and this new town and how I withdrew, and all this kind of guilt and shame and loss of, my fears, loss of respect and loss of approval, or like getting persecuted for someone else's actions, and I will lose it all. We had kind of lost lots of all these fears were stemmed from that one moment, which was not, as a child, it was not like my fault at all, or the choices, but to really take on the energy. I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. So it was revealed, that moment in the teasing. So in that meditation at the end, I ended up sending light and love to this beautiful child, to still feel her light, to still feel her joy, to still feel her energy, me. To still, and many, many, many years later, it was still following me. All of these deep-rooted fears, and I never knew what was holding me back or why. I do now know. And so the ways that I am dealing with it, so with this knowledge, that's right. So go back a wee bit. So with all this knowledge here, Life by Lucy said, when you're dealing with fears, that you create a evidence of proof that I will be okay. And, by being seen and putting myself out there. So I've created the evidence of proof. You create evidence of proof, for example, say other healers that are putting their work out there. They're fine, they're safe, and they've got thousands of followers. Or those who are channeling messages, and those who are doing this healing information as well. All of these different ones are actually okay. So I'm looking for evidence that I will be safe. Looking for evidence. And so you start to look for evidence. They're okay. So it's okay for me. And we've all made mistakes, and we all make mistakes, right? So that can alleviate and release those fears that I have. So I have acknowledged these fears, which is your first step with dealing with fear. I've brought them all to light. I'm now figuring out some evidence against them. So, evidence that, hey look, I share it, I'm still going to be safe. I've shared before and I'm still safe. I'm still here. I've made mistakes and I'm still here. And, being able, and then creating affirmations for the opposite of it. So, such as, like it is safe to be seen. It is safe for me to share my voice. My voice needs to be heard. And there are people who need me to show up. There are people who would benefit by me using my voice, and it would actually be a disservice if I didn't show up. So these are affirmations I'm using for myself daily now to show up, to whenever I'm inspired to share this information. Another one is that, I trust myself to deal with any of these fears. I trust myself, and I know I have good judgment. I know I can feel energies. I know that if I stuff up, it's okay. I am human. I trust myself to make good decisions. I know how to research. So if I do make a mistake, I know how to either rectify it, fix it, forgive myself, or that it is safe to make mistakes. I can take purposeful action instead of reaction, and I've got all those skills and I've got all this knowledge. So it's again finding that evidence of that I will be okay, that I can handle it. My 3 words, and if anything of these pop up and I get that gut-wrenching fear feeling, 3 little words, I'll handle it. I'll handle it. 3 words. Regardless of what it is, I'll handle it. As I always have. With Mum, I've been through so much already. And another one is like a list that I've put of all my accomplishments. You write the list out of everything that you've ever done. And you can go and read it when you're feeling down and out. And I can learn. I can build my self-esteem, for example, with all my self-love bundle. I do those every single day, and sometimes I actually pull them out and make sure that I also do the self-love and the gratitude and the meditation techniques and tips that I teach in the self-love bundle. Because when you've got that healthy self-esteem, it gives you that confidence, it gives you that self-love, and then you're able to step past that fear and step into it, knowing that you are protected and guided and that you can trust yourself enough. If you do want that, I can pop the bundle below, the self-love bundle. It's absolutely fantastic. I can learn whatever I need to succeed. I've done 2 bachelors. I've done my Reiki Masters. I have done so much so I know I can do it. I know I've got the skills. It does mean fear and ego like to try and keep you safe. But you know you can work through it. And writing in, things like, I believe in myself and I know this can be done. So now I'm going to be, really looking for evidence and repeating these affirmations daily. The affirmations that it's safe for me to be seen, and reminding myself of, being able to, that if the fear does come up, that actually I do trust myself. I do make good choices. And to really remind myself of that. And when comparisinitis comes up, which was another one that came when I was looking at the, at first when I was noticing I wasn't growing, but then other healers and other intuitives and other channelers and their accounts are growing. And I was like, what's wrong with me? A quote that came out, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. There was these fears that were blocking me. I knew they were limiting. There's something within me, within my energetic field, that was blocking me from moving forward and being fully seen and heard. And listening to Jen Gottlier's Audible Be Seen, on my socials I shared one of her quotes, and it is so very true. It's like, never ever compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Never. And never compare yourself to anyone else anyway. It's like comparing a leaf to a flower or a square to a circle. We are all unique. We all have our own stories. And our own stories and our own personality and our own makeup are what make us very special. So regardless of so many people in your niche per se, or so many people doing podcasts, nobody else can do it the way you do it. Nobody else can speak the way you do it. Nobody else has your story. You are you. You are incredible. You are absolutely worthy and wonderful. So yes, I hope that will be really helpful for you. I was contemplating actually not sharing, and then I was like, no, this needs to be shared again. That was my affirmation. Feeling that fear in my tummy, I was like, oh, should I share? And I was like, yes, I shall. I will share my voice. I will share this story because I know it can inspire. And I know when you're dealing with the fear, and when you see it for what it truly is, and you have the courage to just acknowledge it and just know, okay, yeah, it's just fear. Yes, our body feels the symptoms, but when you look at it and see it for what it is, the symptoms subside. When you're able to switch it around, the affirmations, and you look for evidence of the good in your life, and you look for evidence and you see evidence around you everywhere of you being safe, then it works. And you can step into it, and you know you're going to be safe to achieve no matter what it is that you want in life. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for listening. Any questions, then let me know, and I will see you all again soon. Mwah! Thank you for listening to my story.